Nobody said he was invested.
Former FTX CEO Samuel Bankman Fried, this criminal, is currently at large in New York, having committed one of the biggest scams in recorded history. SBF has been freed on a $250 million bond that his parents had obtained for him after the extradition of the defendant from the Bahamas to the United States. SBF was advised in his first court appearance after being extradited from the Bahamas that he could post a bail of $250 million secured by his parents' Palo Alto home and live with them. SBF is among us if you live in California or in New York, or anywhere else in the United States.
Yep. Come on, buddy. Come on, guys. Watch yourself.
Last week, we announced charges against Samuel Bankman Fried for a sweeping fraud scheme that contributed to FTX's collapse, and for a campaign finance scheme that sought to influence public policy in Washington. As I said last week, this investigation is very much ongoing, and it's moving very quickly. I also said that last week's announcement would not be our last, and let me be clear once again, neither is today's. First, I'm announcing that the Southern District of New York has filed charges against Caroline Ellison, the former CEO of Alameda Research, and Gary Wang, a co-founder of FTX, in connection with their roles in the frauds that contributed to FTX's collapse. Both Ms. Ellison and Mr. Wang have pled guilty to those charges, and they are both cooperating with the Southern District of New York.
For those who don't know Caroline Ellison, she is the CEO of Alameda Research, the trading division of the sibling firm of FTX. Please like this video if you do know her. Keep up with everything happening in cryptocurrencies by subscribing to our channel Market Empire every day, if you haven't already. 2 weeks earlier, this information about Caroline was already available to our channel subscribers. We'll let you know that Caroline Ellison was spotted in New York getting coffee. She was spotted roughly 6 minutes from an FBI headquarters, which is why this is interesting in addition to the fact that she was seen wandering freely among average people like you and me. Caroline was allegedly conspiring against Sam with the FBI. As new details emerge, it seems that everything we previously believed to be true regarding Caroline Ellison was in fact true. She, who pleaded guilty to 7 crimes, could receive a maximum sentence of 110 years. Gary Wang, an associate of FTX, admitted guilt to 4 crimes and was given a 50-year sentence. In exchange for having all accusations against her dropped, Caroline Ellison, who is accused of committing one of the biggest financial fraud cases in history, must give all of her travel documents. Caroline's best and possibly only successful transaction may be this one.
I think of a good example of a trade where I've lost a ton of money. Well, I don't know. I probably don't want to go into specifics too much with that.
Realizing that Gary Wang and Caroline Ellison have both decided to work with law enforcement to combat SBF, in a tweet according to @Autism Capital, Caroline Ellison and Gary Wang both have bail agreed by the DOJ, the Department of Justice, at $250,000. This is a ridiculously offensive low number given all their assets. In contrast, consider BitMEX CEO and founder Arthur Hayes. At the time, this was one of the biggest and busiest cryptocurrency exchanges for derivatives. Arthur Hayes was accused of failing to set up effective anti-money laundering measures. KYC regulations applied, and Arthur Hayes' bail was set at $10 million. There is no doubt that Caroline Ellison and Gary Wang are receiving preferential treatment from the Justice Department. In an article written by Sam Reynolds, Caroline Ellison plea agreement $250,000 bail surrender of travel documents for feature of assets. The plea agreement would waive Ellison of any charges except criminal tax violations, provided she fully cooperates with the U.S. Attorney's Office. Gary Gensler, the chair of the SEC, is glad to claim credit for this. Posting a tweet, the SEC today charged Caroline Ellison and Gary Wang for their roles in a multi-year scheme to defraud equity investors in the crypto trading platform FTX. Ellison and Wang are cooperating with the ongoing investigation. Tom Emmer, a member of Congress, reminds us that Gary Gensler and the SEC had more meetings with SBF in Alameda than anyone else in crypto, allegedly to craft a special regulatory framework designed to benefit FTX alone. Making backroom regulatory deals with bad actors should not be a tool in the SEC's toolbox. So that brings us to this. SBF was freed on a bond of $250 million, which his parents had posted. Keep in mind when SBF said he only had $100,000 left in public.
To my knowledge, I have basically nothing left. Basically everything I had was invested in the business. I expect I'm gonna have nothing at the end of this. I think I had $100,000 left in my bank account last I checked, and I think I have, one credit card working with that right now.
Earlier this summer, you thought you had, what, 32 billion?
Probably 20, but a whole lot more than I do now.
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000.
Yeah, it's been a really humbling fall in a lot of ways.
Now he has $250 million for bail. The US government is openly rewarding bribery now. They don't even care to appear impartial. It's a message that says, if you take care of us, we take care of you. This is spitting in the face of FTX victims. After SBF appeared in US federal court in New York on Thursday, a judge decided to grant him release. SBF was the former CEO of FTX, accusing him of being the brains behind the theft and unauthorized transfer of customer monies within his old crypto empire, FTX. The banker, whose extradition from the Bahamas was approved on Wednesday, was hauled to the United States overnight by the FBI and showed up at a courthouse in New York to face his first ever felony charges in the United States. The judge set bond at $250 million. Allegations of fraud, money laundering, and campaign finance violations are at the focus of the lawsuit in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. SBF's release was guaranteed by the equity in his parents' Palo Alto, California home, and a long number of conditions were attached for him to continue to be free while he is accused. He is not permitted to conduct financial transactions totaling more than $1,000. According to the agreement, he is only permitted to leave the house for exercise and is required to receive drug addiction and mental health therapy. Barbara and Alan Bankman Fried have agreed to put up the equity in their $4 million California home where he will live during his house arrest as part of the bail. 2 other people, one relative and one non-relative, will fulfill the rest of the bond. Tweeted by @Autism Capital on Twitter, so SBF's friends and relatives are lending a hand to him to post bail. It must be pleasant to have so many influential pals. As a result, SBF's parents posted his bond. This is significant since the CEO of FTX at the time, John J. Ray, claimed that SBF's parents had received compensation from FTX.
Is there any evidence of his parents' involvement in the operations?
Well, certainly, clearly, I think in our first day papers, we indicated that Mr. Bankman had given legal advice.
Okay, had he been an employee of FTX, as has been reported?
I don't know if he actually had an employee status, but he certainly received payments from, the family did receive payments.
Okay, that sounds like employment to me. You got a payment for, okay.
I still believe it is being utilized to free him from jail via FTX customer deposits. In conclusion, SBF, the former CEO of FTX, stole billions from clients, went down fighting and lying, played League of Legends for weeks following, claimed to be broke and depressed, and was arrested, spent Christmas relaxing at home while making $250 million for bonds. Send this video to everyone you know in California or New York, and post it on social media to spread the word and get more people to know about this. Because there is so much more information being released, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. Tomorrow and the rest of the week, we'll have a particularly heavy video for you. Thank you for watching.